Alright, hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And I'm starting a new series today. It's not a new series, it's still making Doom Ventures, but instead of the frontier, the Old West, it's a dystopian future 1,000 years from now on Earth. And it's going to be a whole new thing. So this is like, I think it is Kano or something. It was just a hero click. But we're going to go through and figure out how we get to this point of, we're going to be making a band called the Fast Punks, FASS Punks. So let me get another mini. And let's show you how you get to this point. First we need to find somebody that's got the right look. They're kind of punk rock and not normal. Is that Wonder Man? Yeah. Alright, the guy's missing hands. Ooh. He's kind of big, but he's very punk rock. We'll see. We'll set him to the side. Let me look at my other bin. This has a lot more of the older stuff in it that's probably better sized. Ooh. Tharok. I don't have two cyborgs in my band. There's Blade. Ooh, what's this dude? Ooh, he's hideous. Wow. Cool. Alright, this guy has some kind of Deadpool shirt on, so he'll be okay for what I need. Throwing shit on the ground. Let's start by snipping him off the base. Any base you have will work. And then you need some cardstock. You'd think I'd have set some cardstock out, wouldn't you? But I didn't. I got some chunks here. This will do what we need. Alright, so we want our futuristic bases to look different and like they're not D&D bases. So what I'm doing okay. I want your shirt that's sturdy and on there. We're just going to snip around the outside and weird little angles to make it imperfectly plate metal. Something like that. Then we're going to get a homeboy on there. And we're just going to get some of this round on the base, like that. Let him sit there for a moment. I'm also going to sprinkle a little baking soda on there to make some scuzziness and some elevations. I don't think he's going to be super sturdy just yet, so I'm going to get a little bit more. And just kind of drip it down there in the middle and make everything all wet. So next thing we want to do is get some pieces of other scrap on there. So I'm just going to grab some of this excess pieces I cut off from around the base, and I'm going to dip it onto that glue. And I'm going to move it around and get it good and stuck down. And then I'm just going to take out a little chunk of this. And this is going to make it look like they're walking on some kind of really terrible scrap metal surface, which will be crucial in selling this base the way I want it to be sold. Okay. These are just little gem bead things from those sets where you paint with these things in water or something. Okay, now I did the mistake of the day. Got this flipped around. So now I have to fix them. Okay. Now we set this off to go dry somewhere and talk about how we get to that point. A little bit of glue. Do it on a base. This goes off in front of the fan for another adventure. So you have a new gang member prepped to be base coated. All right, sweet. Now we're to this point. I spray painted it black, half-ass, dry brushed it white, half-ass, and now let's get going on the paint job. So the easiest way to paint Homeboy is going to be with speed paints. It's in the new world, which is, I believe it's going to be called Way of the Lost, but I'm not sure yet. Essentially, AI led us down a dark path and created fake religions to control us and made us live in cities elevated on pillars, and nothing went well since then. Everything's costs money, everything's illegal, everything's a problem. I'm going to do flesh first. By the way, wearing colored clothing costs money. You have to pay for a license to wear colors. And for as many colors as you want to wear, you have to pay for that. The reason is because the AI has taught humans that colors trigger strong emotions and make people misbehave. So to show you're a contributing member of society is paying taxes in to be allowed to wear colors. We don't want to go overboard with these paint jobs because these are just bad guys we're going to use once. Good guys are generally not going to be wearing bright colors because of the expense, and they're not going to have it. Bad guys are willing to take that risk because they don't care if they get in trouble because they're bad guys. So your good guys might have, one colored, bright colored item. They wear a scarf or something that they've paid the taxes on to wear. They're authorized to wear one bright colored garment a day, and it might be their favorite color, and colored stuff is very expensive anyways because everything's recycled and there's nothing really new in the world. Now, the rest of the people kind of wear just gray, colors of gray. But our criminals don't do that. No, they don't. Let's get this pink color. Do his pants in pink. Hot pink. Feel free to go thin if you're using speed paints. So these are kind of faded and pastel and stuff, you know. I think I'm calling it FASS, F-A-S-S, danger or something like that, or fast murder or something. I don't know. I haven't really decided exactly. I know that I want it to be where like they speak differently than we do in the future. Like they say less syllables or less, not syllables, but like the word fast. They would just say fast. That's fast. Very fast. I'm going to get some hoplite gold and some broadsword silver and do up his metal parts. So all metal in the new world, in the future, is recycled. At some point in history, there was a war and we overmined the globe and the crust started to collapse. So now everything is recycled. And that's what people do for the majority of their work. Most poor people go down to the surface of the world underneath these cities and they look for scrap. And they go down there with these flying vehicles called sleds on these giant magnet cords, like big, thick cords. And when they get down there, they collect up the goodies and bring it back up. Now, you can fly around independent of these giant cords. And to ride these cords, you actually need a license. You need to be a mag rider. And that's an expensive license you have to procure to be allowed to fly up and down these cords, because the expense of I need like a green color for that shirt. The expense of fuel to fly around is just ridiculous. You can't afford it. So you have to use the mag lines. Imagine like Blade Runner meets Wall-E meets Coruscant from Star Wars meets, I don't know. Everything is propagandized by the government. You don't have to pay for food or anything. It's all free. They give you a paste that's made out of mushrooms, lichen, moss, and the remains of people every day. It comes in a little chute into your domicile that they give you. And, yeah, that's the shtick. So right now this guy's got 2 violations for color. Let's see if we can't add another one. trying to relearn to breathe through my mouth. It's kind of annoying because I'm not super good at it anymore, apparently. It just doesn't feel natural to breathe through my nose. I just breathe through my mouth all the time for a while now, since before the surgery, and now since I had the surgery. And I don't want to be a mouth breather. Who does? This is called Grim Black. This is going to be a good color for the belt for sure. Oh, little pouches on it. And with speed paints, black is a good pickup color for covering up any areas that you made mistakes too. All right, I'm going to hit those again just a little bit in some spots just to darken those up. There we go. I didn't do anything with that Hoplite Gold yet. I don't know if this is shaking. It might be. A little bit of detail will go a long way on something like this. I probably should have dry brushed them a little better with the white before I got started. It would have gave them crisper, more noticeable, and less desaturated coloring. But that's okay. I'm going to come back in. I got a little dot of some blue or something here with the pink. I'm going to come back and hit the pink again in some spots real quick. See if I can rub that out. And if I can't, then I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's look at the eye. So the first thing we need is a little bit of off-white for the eye that's still human. And we need red for the other one. Now for an eyebrow, you're born in this world with weird colored hair. So at one point in history, they had designed a pill that would genetically make your hair grow a different color. And that sounds great, but it's not, because what happens is sometimes your kids are born with weird colored hair, and then it starts this weird lineage of stupid hair colors. So people's hairs are all weird colors now in my world. Definitely looks like a bad guy. Let's get that bass kicking. So the first thing we're going to do is get a big enough brush. I'm going to use brown metallic because I'm kind of using that as a generic coating for my world. Let me get my brush damp. Oh, I missed the water. Get my brush damp. Get some of this magnetic or metallic brown. Something like that. I'm going to try to paint mostly the base and try not to get it on the miniature. Okay. Now I'm going to get a watered down reddish brown color. Looks like I'm using chocolate bar. I'm just going to get a little bit on my cardboard here. I'm going to add some water to that. I'm leaving that metallic in there. Just a tiny bit. It doesn't matter too much. I'm going to touch around on there. Then I'm going to get a little bit of my white from here and mix that in. Something like that. And then we'll do it around the outside of the base in black to kind of finish this off. That black line is representative of so many things, but one of the things that really matters, whether it's on the top or the side of a base, is that that black line represents where fantasy begins and the real world ends, or vice versa. That line is where imagination and reality fight for control of your evening. Like crazy monsters. Now, we need that to dry. And it's pretty wet. So, we're going to cheat. That's mostly dry. So get a synthetic brush and a little silver paint. Wipe a lot of that off and then come around on the edges here and rub off the metal, show where the rust and decay has been smacked away. Something like that. We're going to get a little bit of black paint on our base here. Or on our cardboard, I mean. You can leave that silver in your brush, it won't hurt too much. You want to water this down quite a bit. And a little bit of metallic silver in there might help you. Then you're just going to come around and do some oily kind of residue. Like that. And then using a piece of fabric, I'm just going to get a piece of t-shirt. And I'm going to dab some of that off. Like that. Now I want this guy to be a little extra fancy, so I'm going to get a very small brush. I'm going to get this blue metallic. And I'm going to dot up his pants with polka dots. Starting with that little mistake I had there. Little pokey dots. Maybe some white ones look cool too. Let's make these pants next level. We don't want to have too many of the white ones. Now you could totally dingy this dude up with a sick wash and you'd probably get some amazing results. But that's not where our path leads us today. We're going to dry him off again. We're going to put a clear coat on him and take a look at him. Because we don't want this to be an all-day thing. We want this to be about a half hour for each mini at the most. Get my sleeve on. Whoosh. Go over to my temporary paintball. And that'll get rid of any like extra shinies or unshiny areas. Pretty decent. Very punk rock. Yeah, so it's going to be the fast punks. I decided, yeah, we're going to stick with the fast punks. And this is going to be one of their main enforcers. We'll call them something. Thanks for watching. Check out the link in the description. That's to the website and to the Discord. There's a discount code down there too. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave comments, and all the things that please the cyber leaders. The algorithmics. Maybe that's what we'll call them. I don't know. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.